Hey everybody, it's your man Tyke coming to you with another true spook story. Now before I begin, I'm gonna ask you to hit that like button like I always do. Subscribe to this channel and to share me with your friends and family who just love a good old spooky true story to listen to, go to sleep to. Y'all know how we do here in the South. Alright, without further ado, this story is gonna take place within the Barnett Park area of Orlando, Florida. Yeah, we back to Barnett Park, people, Pine Hills area. So while we're there, I'm gonna tell you about this couple. Now, this couple is this old couple too. I'm gonna say mom and pops, and them have to be about 50. I'm gonna say they have to be in their like 70s and 80s. Pops is older than mom, and you can tell pops around by like 78, and mom's got to be pushing a strong 72. But they go to this park every morning and walk. Been going here for years and walking, and they'll go to this park and they'll walk for like 3-4 hours. They'll start like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and they won't leave till 12 that afternoon, and they'll just constantly walk around the park. Now, the reason they walk around the park, people, I'm finna hit you with something. The reason they walk around the park is because they walk around just to have conversations with people. They walk around just to speak to you. Now, they'll have like a 5-second, 30-second conversation with you, say little good things in passing, and then keep it moving. But then after that, they'll keep on, and they'll stop and do this to everybody there. So I always thought that was curious. Now, my grandma been passed away going on 13 years. So they've been doing this since then. And grandma knew them. They knew Agunju. They knew my grandma. And so now when I get older and I start going to the park, doing the whole decompressing, stressing. Keep in mind I was married, and then I got a divorce like 7-8 years and ago. And when I got the divorce 7-8 years ago, I had to go to that park, and I just would go to that park and walk around and make sure everything was cool in my head, make sure all my mind was okay. And, that was just a good old-fashioned stress reliever. So, doing that right there, good old-fashioned stress reliever. So I encountered, this older couple. And as the older couple were walking, I seen them, they wasn't looking too good. They were crept over walking. The lady, she was swinging her little hips, like her hip was hurting, hip joints were hurting, and she keep these little gloves on her hand, I guess, for arthritis or something like that, with the thumb sticking out of them. So I'm like, okay then, I say, so I'm out here, let me speak. In the South, we speak to our elders. I don't give a damn where yet, we speak. So I'm sitting out there, and although I'm going through my problem, I see Pops, he barely making it. He got Mom by the hand, and he, helping her, up the curve, and they walking. So I say, good morning, good people. How y'all doing? I say, things good with you? I say, Pops, look at you. Why? I say, one or 2 more months out here, you gonna look as good as me. And he like, oh man, you got it. Shit, cool. I say, yeah, you know it. So we kicking the bobo. I say, Mom, don't let this man get too good looking and then try to leave you. And she like, well, after 50 years, he ain't got nothing to do. Ain't nobody gonna want him but me. And then we all laughing. I shake their hand, give Mom a kiss on her hand, because in the South, we don't hug everybody. Damn sure don't go up hugging nobody else lady. That's a kiss on the hand. Let's be real with it. So I grab Mom's hand, I shake his hand, give him a hug. And I get his wife hand, and I kiss her on the hand, and y'all be good. And I rub the back of her hand, and they rub my head, rub my shoulder, and go on by the business. So as I'm following myself around the track, I see that Pop done got stronger. His back stood up. Mama, she walking with a little more gusto. She got a little bit more energy in her ass. I said, okay, cool. So, this went on for a while. And every time they would see me, they would want to give me hugs. They would want to talk to me. Good 30, 40 seconds, and kick the bobo. So everything was cool. So I stopped walking and I started exercising. So I stopped walking and I started exercising, using the park bench to do, sit-ups and everything like that. So I wasn't seeing them walking around the track. So as I got my head down one day and I'm doing sit-ups, exercising, crunches, all that shit, I look up and I end up seeing, you know, mom now walk up to me. So they walked up to me. And when they walked up to me, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Because they wasn't going on the normal path. They like, oh boy, we just had to come over here and see you. Now I was a good little way because I do this on the park benches. I was a good little, off the track. So, hey, how you doing? So he like, man, I just got to get my hug from you, brother. You all right with me? So, he'll come there and we give it a dap up. We shoot the shit 30 seconds and then they just keep on walking off. And, I kiss the back of her hand, all that good stuff like that. So I said, okay, I'm not going to go out there for a little bit because, I had got a job. I'm trying to get myself together. Things going right. I'm getting the energy back. So I didn't go out to the park for about 2-3 months while I was getting acclimated to the new job I had got. I said, let me go on out here, get some walk in, get some run in. So I go out there around by 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and lo and behold, guess who I see walking around the park? But now I'm walking around and these people ain't looking so good. Pops, they walking real slow. Mama ain't got the pep in her step. None of that. So naturally I'm walking over there to say, hey, Mom, Pop, you all right? Because I started calling them Pop, Dad, terms of endearment for older people, and I call her Mom or Madam, terms of endearment. I say, Madam, you all right? I say, you ain't letting this old man drag you down now. And she laughed. She like, he tried, but he can't. So, I go up there, dap him up, give him a hug, grab her, and this time I give her a hug because I ain't seen her in a while. Then I see her kiss the back of her hand and all that good stuff there. And she like, boy, we sure enough miss you. I say, it's okay. I say, I'll be coming back around a little bit more often. All right, yeah, please do now. Don't let us down. We love seeing you. Okay, no problem. So now I'm obligated to be out there. So every day for a couple of years, I'm going out there and I'm just driving around. Even when I got my jobs and I'm working in the sales, I ain't have to do no, and I was just compelled to go out there. Now I'm in a shirt and tie, hats, everything, looking good, fly, dress shoes. So I'm not walking. I just was compelled to go out there and I would park my car by the entrance by the basketball court and I would wait for them to pass by. I see them walking in the distance and I manage my time well and I would wait. And when I wait, they'll beeline straight for me. And they'll sit up there and we shoot the bobo 30, 40 seconds, give me a hug, give them a, kiss on the back of her hand. And I felt it was my obligation to do this. Now, every time I did this, these people got stronger. I didn't get weaker, though. I didn't get weaker. They just got stronger. I'm painting the picture. This shit ain't over yet. So now, I'm sitting up there, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm feeling all jazzed up, happy. I'm helping out, I'm like, man, grandma gonna love me. If grandma was here, I'm helping out her friend. I'm all in that zone. So then one day, I had got into it with somebody on the job, and I'm pissed off. And I say, I ain't going to work. I'm just finna go sit at the park. Now, keep in mind, I'm dressed up, hat, shirt, tie, looking good, fly as fuck. And I just pulled my car over, and I'm like, I ain't going no fucking. I say, I ain't going to no fucking work. Fuck that job. So I parked. So as I parked, I didn't get out the car. Not because I didn't want to see Mom and Pop. I didn't get out the car because, I was going through my own little shit. And lo and behold, I seen everybody in the park that passed by Mom and Pop. They did the same thing. They would give them a hug. They would talk to them for a little bit. And then the Mom and Pop then would have to do some kind of physical touching of the people. And they would just walk off with their energy. But before they got to the next person, the energy had ran low again. And they would do it. So every day they was doing this. So I just stood back and I paid attention. And I listened. So I came the next day. I looked and I listened. I came the next day. I did this for like 2-3 weeks. Reconnaissance, baby, reconnaissance. So I noticed that every time Mom and Pop would touch somebody, that the people they touched would get kind of weak. They was like, if somebody was running full sprint and the person would stop just to shake their hand, give them a hug, to talk to them, You know, it would take that person a long time to build back up the stamina to get back in the mood, jogging again, or they'll just end up walking the session out. Mom and pop been there strip their energy out their ass. But I was wondering why what happening to me. So I seen them do ladies like that. I seen them do men like that, old heads, young heads. I seen them do all that. So I say, okay. I say, I'm seeing a pattern. And Grandma had already taught me about some form of energy vampires here. So I'm like, I'm seeing a pattern. So I stopped going out there 2-3 weeks because I know they was being taken care of. Basically, spirit say they being fed already, so you can save your energy, focus on your new livelihood with your kids, getting your shit together, healing from your divorce. So years passed by. I'm going out there sparingly. I would see them at Barnett Park sparingly. Years passed by, that type of nature right there. Now, with that being said, people, I'm finna stop it. I'm finna stop right here, and I want to give you a little bit more backstory to Mom and Pops. Now, Pops, he, from the time over the years, Pops say he from the Carolinas, and Mom, she was out of Alabama. Now, they would always say something about my grandma, like, you a Gunju grandboy? And I would be like, yes. And he like, oh yeah, Gunju, yeah. That always was a fly jazzy sister. She was always a firecracker. And the wife would look at him and say, well, you watch it now. And like, I'm just talking about a Gunju. Rest the dead, God rest the dead. And she like, you watch it now. So Pops and Grandmama had a thing back in the younger days. And because they say when they first came down here to Orlando, like they met each other and they knew each other, although Pops were married to Moms here. Him and Grandma would still, they still had a flame back in their younger days. You know how shit was going on back then. Old head just did shit, but they stayed at home. So it ain't that the lady didn't like Grandmama. It was just that she didn't like her husband talk about her. So I said, okay, cool. Now, Mom's out of Alabama, Pop's out of the Carolinas. All was in the magic head because they was bragging to my man. I remember when a Gunju was doing that magical spell and she helped my sister with her hip replacement, everything. Right before she passed away, she was doing all that good stuff, all that magic. Yeah, Gunju knew her stuff, man. A Gunju, and they don't curse now. The old people don't curse. Like, yeah, a Gunju knew her stuff. She don't play. That magic good with her. She know her shit. I'm cursing, but they like, she know her stuff. Yeah, a Gunju knew what the hell was going on, man. Yeah, and you a Gunju boy. I say, I'm a grandbaby. Yeah, you got it going on. I know you strong in that thing. I say, yeah. So we sitting up there yakking and kicking the bobo over the year. So now they telling me their backstory. And they was telling me how things was coming up in the racist time, like when they were growing up, things were pretty racist. And Mom said she took care of a white family somewhere off of in College Park. That was a rich area. Like she used to be like a housemaid or a denture servant to one of the wealthy white family, who these wealthy white people, they was kind of witches and warlocks and shit. Like the man, he would dress up like a dragon or like a scaled creature, she was telling me. And the wife, she would like dress up like bewitched, but she would rub mud all over her, like she would be a dirty witch. And I don't know what this about because I'm not into Wiccan. If anybody in this bitch understand what they were doing, hit me up. Well, they said the guy, he would dress up like he was an alligator, like he would wear like alligator pelt skin, and the wife would dress up like a witch, but she would rub like swamp water, dirt, mud on her, and they would do ritual spells in their backyard. And she said she used to witness this. So one day she got curious. She was like, hey, what you doing? And I saw this. So she said the old white lady told her that she was learning how to harness the energy from the ground, from the mud, from the dirt. And she like, sort of like walking outside with your shoes on, letting the sun hit you. And she was like, well, that's basic. That's just sun magic. She say we doing alchemy magic, as far as when mud mixed with water, it becomes clay dirt, and we're rubbing that mixture. So now we're getting both the best world. I'm teaching you some people. I'm teaching you what she told me now. Now, so you mix mud, clay dirt together, mix it together, you rub it all over your skin, then you go sit in the sun and let the sun dry it out. And as the sun dried out, it's not drying out from without, it's drying out from within, because the clay dirt be wet on the outside, but it be drying close to the body, and it's going to pull out all the poison, all the toxins. It's going to stop your skin from aging. And she said that's what she was doing. And she was like, oh. And she like, who mix it? And then the white witch lady with the mud on her said that, oh, I just have a young person mix it. I'll probably call my grandson over here. I'll probably have one of his friends pay them to mix this up for us, and we just put it all over ourselves, and we just go in the backyard, let the sun cook us, and then we'll, flake it off and stuff. She's like, oh, okay. So she was telling me how she learned a little bit of the witch stuff from these Caucasian Wiccan people, the man and the woman. So then it was dad time to talk. Pop said, well, yeah. So he said, I still got the head of the alligator, the big old alligator. I still got the head that I put on top of my head sometime. And I just wear it around the house and I have a little fun, and I take pictures with it. So he pulled out his phone and he showed me an old Polaroid picture of the hat. I mean, like, he has took a picture of a Polaroid. And he like, yeah, that's the head right there. And people, it was a real alligator head. A real alligator head that he had transformed into a hat, stuffed it, and did some shit where he could wear it on his head. He'll strap it down. And I said, oh, okay, cool. So they were comfortable telling me this because, grandma did what they did, and grandma had did some work for him. So I start thinking, now they at this part where it's a muddy part, muddy, a lot of mud there, a lot of mud. People go exercising and jumping up and down in the grass, and these people would like just go to the lake. Like, we'll go fish at the lake, or we'll go, kick up the water. And I used to get a bottle of water and just splash it around the lake, like in the morning, to feed the lake some cornmeal when I go in there, for Oshun and all the fishing animals. Giving back to nature. And she was like, yeah, we do that. We come out here and we just feed the park. This our park. We consider this our second home. And I said, okay, we got all our family, we got all our friends, and they just were talking. I said, okay, cool. So I'm learning, right? I'm listening. So a couple more months passed, and I'm just, okay, so I just learned something. So I'm paying attention to them. I'm seeing, do they got dirt in their hand? Next time we shake hands, I'm seeing if they asking me to do stuff, to bomb something, to mix some shit up. I'm just on that type of level there, but they never did. So I said, so one day we talking, I say, so let me ask you a question. With all the people you touch, do you ever think you taking on their demons or their energy, and it could be bad energy? I just threw a random question. Mom and Pop looked at me in the eye and said, that's exactly what we do. Say, that's how we stay in here. They say if we never come to this part no more, we think both of us will die. We've been coming to this part for over 30 years, and we meet everybody here. And we say, we used to see you when you were coming here. Say, we used to know when your grandma would have a cookout out there. We used to see you when you used to bring your daughter now and your son to ride the little scooter and the bike around the lake. Say, we saw everything. I say, what? And they say, yeah, that's why we know you're a good boy. I say, oh, man. So, I'm like, okay, cool. We rocking now, pivot. But I'm still thinking in my head, okay, this bitch was grooming me to drain my energy. They probably like, okay, yeah, when he get to be a certain age, we gonna talk to him and shit, and, and cipher him out. But again, people, it never made me tired as it made all the other people tired. It's like I was immune to it. It's like I would give them a boost, and I would still be able to go hard and get my little workout in and chill and laugh and play and shit like that. But the other people, they would be like, yeah, I'm tired. So, that was just a little bit of backstory on it. Now, back to modern day age, recently up until like a month ago. So now I'm out there and I say, okay, I'm going through a little mental anguish with my people. So let me get myself in shape again. Let me get back to me, get sexified. So I'm out there going at it. So now it's not only them walking, But it's a lot of senior citizens walking together, and they walk in groups of threes. Listen to me, people. It be 3 old ladies walking together. One lady have a bad hip. If you go out there, you'll see her. She there every day. She has a bad hip, and you'll see them greeting everybody they walk past, and it's healing the hips. It's healing the old lady. Then it'll be mom, pops, and it'll be one young girl like lightly jogging beside them. They walking together, and she always walk with pops and mom. And so now when you get out there, you see all these older people, senior citizens, and they greet you. They want to talk to you. They want to like just be cool with you and shit like that. So I'm like, damn. And I'm looking. I'm like, this is a conspiracy, man. I say these old heads sitting up there harvesting the energy at the park. Nah, that wasn't the creepy part, people. That was just me giving you the backstory, telling you a little bit of my experience. Now, I'm finna get into the creepy part with this bitch, and I want you guys to truly understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying this for y'all to go out there to that park, because they still doing this, and I'm going to protect them people because I like them. So if I ever see somebody harassing and fucking with them, I'm going to show my ass, because these some good people. So, every Sunday, the park is full. Every Sunday, the park is full. People enjoying life. You have the Caribbean community. You have the Latin people doing their thing. You have the white people playing volleyball. I mean, this is just a beautiful time. Sunday, the park filled with energy, filled with everything. So one day, I'm sitting out there at the park, and I'm out there just chilling. And I'm out there, I don't know nobody. I'm just walking around the center lake, give me a little laps in, give me a little steps in. So I happened to see mom and pops. Now this is sometime like 7, 8 in the afternoon. 8 in the evening, right before the park getting ready to close, because it closed at 8. So I happened to see the little gray car mom and pops is, and they pull up, and they standing right outside the gate. And they sitting in the car right outside the gate, and pops and them just looking. But pops and mom didn't have a nice smile on their face. They weren't chilling like they used to. So mom and pops just chilling. So then the park closed, they dim the light, the last car leave. Keep in mind, the park was full of people, kids running around playing, all that shit. It was a nut house, man, out there. Music playing, 4 types of music. So when everybody leaving, they lock the gate. The little walk-in entrance still open. So I see mom and pops get out the gate. So I go and I duck behind the little kiddie playground set. And this is like less than 3 weeks ago, people, so they still doing this shit. So I go duck down behind the little pavilion, and I see mom and pops start they walk at night. So now they not coming one time a day, they coming twice a day. So I'm thinking they're gonna do their little walk and chill and all that stuff there. They did not. When the park was closed, I seen mom and pops go down to the lake. I'm hiding behind the thing. I'm seeing mom and pops go down to the lake. I see mom get her cup, she have a little bucket and a little shovel like from the garden. She start getting that mud. She start getting mix that mud with that water. She walk around the whole park just putting different patches of dirt in that mud, in that muddy water she got from that thing with a little bit of the lake water. And she start just scooping it up. And Pop's doing the same thing in his little bucket. And they mixing that stuff up. And I see Pops take off his shirt, and mama start rubbing Pops down with the mud. Start rubbing Pops down with the clay dirt mud that they just made. Pops turn around and get mom arms and everything, because mom didn't take off her shirt or nothing. Get mom arm, and then they walk around the park like 8 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, absorbing the energy, letting the mud absorb the energy at the park. And this is how they keeping themselves young and vital, people. So I saw it, so I just like kept ducking down, and I just kind of eased out because I didn't want them to see me, because I know they were doing the ritual that they told me that the white Wiccan people taught them. So I didn't want them to be, come here, man, let me touch you, let me hug on you, cool with you, while y'all in ritual form, because bitch, you may drain all my life for it. So I crawled on the ground like a little bit, and I just scooped the fuck on out of there. I just got on out of there, hit the back way, and I hit the fence that lead, to the houses in the back. So I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But I sat down and I thought about it. when the park is at its high and everybody's there on picnics, summer vacations, energy running around, kids laughing, people playing volleyball, kickball, soccer, all that shit there. Because these people touched everywhere a party of people was and mixed that mud up. And they rubbed it on themselves and they were letting it dry on their skin. So I said, damn. So about 2 weeks ago, I go out there and this morning time, I see mom and pops walking. Now I ain't let them know I saw what they did. I ain't say nothing. I see them walking. Mom, pops, how you doing? So I go over there, I kick the bobo with him, shoot the shit, tell him how rich I am and how rich I want to be, and he living a long life and I want to get to where he at. He said, keep on living, you'll get there, and when you get up there, I'll be here waiting on you. He would say stuff like that, and mama like, you ain't gonna be nowhere. You gonna be your ass in that house watching TV with me. And I'm laughing. I say, keep him right, mama, keep him right. Just keeping the shit. Hug, kisses, boom, I'm out. So I'm like, why are these people so vibrant and shit? And I just happened to listen to them, and I had to think back. People, these older heads are harnessing the energy at the park. Of every time that a family goes out there and play, every time a kid go jump on the table, have a picnic, motherfuckers kick up in the dirt, people are harnessing the power of nature from what we put in it, what our children put in it, what our joggers and athletic people put in it. The sweat that every time sweat drop off our brow when we exercise and it hit the dirt, bam, it's energizing the soil, it's energizing the planet, all that stuff there. And there's some people out there that know how to harness that shit. So next time your ass see somebody digging up soil, you think they digging for worms to go fishing with. Next time they digging up soil, putting shit in a bucket. Next time they doing some shit, or you see kids making mud pies and shit like that for old people. Man, them people have just drained the energy source of anywhere a park at that has a lake, that has a body of water next to it, people. Now, I'm from the South. I don't know how it is in the North. I don't know if you guys have parks and lakes up there and shit like that on a regular. But here in the South, everywhere is a man-made lake park down here in every community. And every time you see old heads walking around that motherfucker, old senior citizens walk around the park, it's like the water give them energy. They feed off the moving energy of the water. But for them old people to dig that mud down and get that mud and rub it on their body and broad night light like that and walk around and let it dry on their skin, absorbing the energy that was left over by the people at the park, shit. Them people could barely, he bent over, he could barely walk, barely move, but mom and pops living, and they look good for their age, and they got energy, people, all because of that park, and they always there every day. Always there every day. If you think I'm lying, go talk to them. But if you try to shake their hand at anything, they're going to be stush with you at first, but then they're going to warm up to you if they see you a couple times, and just know they're going to drain some of that energy off your ass. So I'm finna let you guys go. Y'all gonna see me on the recap, and we gonna talk about this. All right, everybody, I'm tight. Telling you, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, but it's the truth, no doubt. Take heed to this shit now. And remember to speak to all your elders. They waiting on that energy. We gotta keep them around. All right, everybody, take care. Have a good one.